Hi, my name's Richard from wildmentalking.com. I work as a gardener and as a psychotherapist. And as I was working this morning, I was blowing the dry for somebody, and so I had time to think whilst I was working. And I'd heard the Chancellor and the Prime Minister talking about long-term projects rather than short-term projects. And what came to mind for me was school counselling services. So at the moment, there is either a mental health lead in a secondary school, or there is a school counsellor who is brought in on a session by session basis. And I was such a counsellor a few years back in a secondary school, so I did a day and a half a week. And it was simply firefighting, and I was working with members of staff as much as I was working with students. Staff suffering from burnout, basically, but all sorts of emotional issues coming up for them due to the stress and the burnout. And what I remember is when I was in training 15 or so years ago, there was a charity or a company called Place to Be who used to do offer counselling placements in junior school and infant school. And they seemed to have a service that worked really, really well. So the service was, in each school there were qualified counsellors as well as student counsellors on placement. And I think each unit was fairly well separate in so much as they had their own supervision, CPD, etc. And I just wonder whether that's not a model that we could actually use within trusts or within individual schools, where we create a counselling service that is more than simply counselling, but is under the mental health lead at the school, whereby we work with, we have counsellors that are paid counsellors, on a session-by-session basis, as well as students in placement. And that service could offer its own supervision to each of the counsellors and also work alongside the senior management team in terms of, what am I trying to say, in terms of what's actually offered that benefits everybody in the system. At the moment, we seem to throw education at kids and expect it to stick, because that's how we've always done it. But there's very little attention paid to their emotional needs, and also with our teachers' emotional needs and the children's parents' emotional needs. And so I wonder if we can set a service up in each individual school that breaks into the cycle of trauma and emotional distress that's going on for both our students and our members of staff. What that would look like is a lead psychotherapist who sits on the senior management team and works with that team to create a more caring environment and offers support out to parents and family groups, so that there could be family group counselling, there could be training to support the parents in what their students might need, what their children might need, and sort of come at it really from a caring perspective. My two boys went to a Steiner school, and the premise there was that the teachers actually in the school loved the kids, so they cared about the kids. So the education they offered wasn't what appears to be a forced education, but it was a supportive education. And we as parents were involved. And I realise that this might be pie in the sky, But actually, it doesn't have to seem like pie in the sky. Maybe we need to set up a unit or a couple of units as sort of, what's the word? Guinea pig, for want of a better word. So we create a system in a school and we monitor it. The only problem there is that how long is it going to take to monitor it, to work out whether it's working or not? How long are we prepared to fund it? And how long before we are able to roll it out to the rest of the school communities? I'm sure there's something in this that would support our students. So I don't have a fixed idea of how this works. I'm just putting it out there to see who picks it up, runs with it. I'm not attached to running it or owning it. I just feel that we need to do something really supportive for our students. Excuse me. Okay, thank you.